Hello, welcome to Spell Day. We're covering a spell every single day of the year from the 5e PHB +3. Those +3 spells are homebrew spells. We're at +2 at the moment. You headed back in playlist to find them, and today's spell is Spare the Dying.
Count of three.
Necromancy cantrip, casting time of 1 action, range of touch, clones verbal somatic, duration instantaneous. You touch a living creature that has 0 hit points. The creature becomes stable. The spell has no effect on undead or constructs. This is going to be a short episode. I say that, it's going to stretch out, isn't it? Cantrip, action, touch. I mean, this is the... it's to stop bleed out. I mean, really, it's good for adventuring parties, it's good for NPCs that we'll talk on a bit later, but the adventuring party scenario. It's still debated whether people pick this up because it just might be worth casting a healing spell. Any case, because if you're in the middle of combat, it's good to just get them popped back up, or at least aware and able to react to certain things. aka saves. Because as we covered recently, unconscious is a really, really bad condition. So even though, yes, you stabilize them, if this is in the middle of a battlefield and they're in the middle of the fight, they're still so vulnerable if the target is knowing to target them. Or not, if the enemy knows to target them or tries to target them. Or even if they don't, they can't make any dex save or strength save. Like a fireball going off next to them, guaranteed to take full. And they're at 0. That's immediately going to be knocking them down to death saves. So even just a basic first level healing spell, even if it doesn't get them up that much, allows them to react with saves and allows them to at least have a slight buffer before heading straight. They might have a buffer against some minor damage. The difference is that takes a spell slot and this is a cantrip. That's the thing saving this. I shouldn't even say saving. How to put it? Because if you're looking at it from just spell cost value, yes, cantrip is better to just stabilize a target in isolation. When in the middle of combat, it's better to get them up and going again. But when you're talking about outside of combat, like, hey, if you're heading to the issue as well is, I mean, I'm also at fault for doing this a lot, but DMs usually just have regular schmuck NPCs or monsters. When they reach 0, they're dead. It's just how it's run for simplicity and speed. I mean, maybe an important character here or there has some death saves, which, yeah, you can run up to them and help, but when just in the field of play and your average game, there's not many NPC targets to use this on. If talking world building and NPCs, hospitals. Hospitals. This is a hospital spell. Every doctor is going to have this. Every doctor. Patient flatlining, spare the dying. How you're telling it's flatlining from fantasy tech? I mean, there might be an item. I don't know. Doctors, medics, stoochers, the kinds of characters that don't have the spell slots to burn, aka it's just like a level 1 caster. Maybe you have 1 healing spell slot, but when in a hospital, you got a lot more sick and dying that you're gonna need to take care of quickly. Same thing for the medic on a battlefield. Or, in the scarier example, I'm just gonna put like images of the drow, and you get what I mean. Keeps them from bleeding out. Because it does as the name of the spell is, or said, it does as the name of the spell is, says? Says is? It is says? It's spare the dying, so it spares the dying. Honestly, I would see this used in more, just from practicality as a player, less, an adventurer, yes, an adventurer would have this likely, or at least prepare it just in case, or learn it just in case. NPCs, way more likely to have it, probably do. And again, those doctors, medics, drow scenario. But as just as a player, as a character, yes, you might have spared dying. As a player, kind of worth just, even if it's minor or a low level, dumping a short level spell into healing. Short level spell? Man, my verbiage is all over the place tonight. 6 out of 10. NPC and world building wise and medical scenarios where anyone's bleeding out or might have a chance of dying, it's great. So that's bumping it up. On the side of the player, you know what, 7. Because even in the player's hands, I've seen it's still useful. If they're dying of something else, yeah, 7. The weight of it, because it can still be useful in a player at adventuring party's hands. You're just less likely to take it and use other spells and methods to keep them up. Yeah, 7.